guy, David Hogg, who's now the vice chair of the Democratic Party, comes out here last week and says he's going to spend $20 million from his personal PAC to challenge sitting Democrats in safe districts who are either too old, in his opinion, or who don't vote progressive enough, and take them out to swing the party younger and more liberal. I mean, I'm not asking you to defend that, but just in Wisconsin, I find it hard to believe that Wisconsin Democrats think that Congressman Gwendolyn Moore should step aside because she's 74. I just don't get the strategy there.
Listen, it's not about the number next to how old you are. It's how much passion and fight you have left in you. I was actually with Congresswoman Moore this morning. We held a roundtable discussion with a half dozen of her constituents who are going to be impacted by the Republican plan to slash Medicaid. This is going to have a cascading economic impact apart from the morality question of cutting off disabled adults who are living independently, you name it. Gwen Moore has the fight. If you have the fight, fight with us in our coalition. If your time has passed and you've lost your fastball, yeah, it's probably time to exit stage left. I saw Senator Durbin announce today that he will be stepping aside. Dick Durbin has been a great Democrat for a very long time, and there is nothing wrong with passing the torch to a new generation of leaders. That's what Joe Biden said he was going to do back in 2020, and I think if he had lived up to that in more ways a little sooner, we may not be in such a five-alarm crisis when it comes to protecting everything that makes America actually great, as opposed to what MAGA Republicans want you to believe.
But I'm just fascinated by this as an outsider who's not part of the Democratic Party. Because in my opinion, I mean, Trygve and I have talked about this before as former Republicans. They're just better at keeping people in line. I mean, I don't envy the head of the Democratic Party because to me, it's like herding cats, right? And so I'm just fascinated as an outsider. How do Democrats moving forward appease the David Hoggs and the AOCs, the people that say, look, we're tired, we're ticked off, we don't want to wait anymore, we don't care about the institutions, we want these reforms now. How do you keep their votes, which will be seen by some people as far left, and then kind of the more traditional Democrats? Well, I was talking to this guy from Southwest Wisconsin in his 30s, a Democrat. He said, this is a great example of why we are going to see a third party emerge because both parties are too far left and right. How do you, as the future chairman of the Democrats, keep a third party from emerging and say, no, we as the Wisconsin Democratic Party, we are a Big Ten?
I don't think we can be a pro-democracy movement if we shy away from democracy. Everybody has a right to run, and if they want to run against incumbents, go for it. We know that's an uphill battle, but there's nothing wrong with more democracy being the answer to the challenges our democracy faces. My approach is always, you got to have a big table. You got to have room in our coalition now more than ever for folks who think, yeah, we should raise the minimum wage and it should go up to $10.10 tomorrow. And there are also people on the left who say it should go to $25 tomorrow. We have to be a coalition that's big enough to keep everybody on sides, win back power. And if we want to have those fights and we land at 15, 17, 20, that's the hard work of governing. But for now, what the Trump administration is doing is focusing our attention and focusing, the mind on, whether you think it's 10-10 or 25, you think working people need a raise, and let's focus on that part of it moving forward. We can sort some of that out after we win back power and save our country.
Trygve, 1 minute, less than 1 minute. Quick question, quick answer before we go to break. Trygve, anything?
No, I mean, I just think, Joe, the answers you're giving about economics, and I say this, take it for what it's worth from a guy who used to work for McConnell, so I don't know how much credibility I have with people who are working to elect you. But the truth of the matter is you're spot on. I saw Mark Cuban had a tweet not long ago where it showed Wisconsin has more at risk from the tariffs than any other state. 10% of the jobs in Wisconsin are at risk. 73% of the people who are at risk voted for Donald Trump. Like, there's a huge opportunity, but they did it for a reason, and they did it because Republicans come along and say, as you said, it's about bathrooms and athletes and whatnot.